Hello everyone, it's November the 4th. This is Andrew Capps, director of the All-American Bowl series, Rising Stars, and hope everybody had a good weekend. Enjoyed football this weekend. We had some good football with various college and NFL games going on. A lot of good football this weekend. So wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about what is coming up tomorrow with the first round of selections. You guys once again blew nominations out of the water. We've got hundreds of kids that we've had to review and grade, and that process is still going on as we're still actively accepting nominations as well. So wanted to just put together a video. It's a lot easier to do this than to text it or do it over the phone or email it. So hope this will be informative and helpful to everyone, coaches, players, parents, everyone involved with wanting to get their kid in this event. So before we get into it, I do want to thank our event-specific sponsors and partners. DSI Auto Sales, Mike Cumby, he is our sleeve sponsor this year. Great guy, great organization, company. If you're in the market for a new car, check him out. He has delivery options. He has ways to get you the vehicles. Looks like a lot of high-end cars on there. So if you're a car person, check him out. DSI Auto Sales, he'll be on the sleeve of every jersey this December. Also want to talk about our partner, the Wounded Warrior Project. Very excited to partner with them this year. They are providing some some options, some materials for the player packages that we're very excited about and appreciative of them for doing, as well as we'll be honoring 6 or 7 veterans, Wounded Warriors, at the games at halftime. So very excited to do that, see that happen on our field. So really great organization and a really great partnership that we have with them. Looking forward to hopefully doing that every year for the foreseeable future. So as I said, today is November 4th. Starting tomorrow, November 5th, you will be seeing some emails going out to various players from 8-man, 11-man private homeschool football with a notice of their selection into this game, into this event, if you will. And we chose Election Day not to try to take anything away from the special day it is. A little note on that: I hope that if any of the players that are watching this are 18 years old or older and able to vote, hope that you go out and do that tomorrow if you haven't already. It's a very awesome opportunity for you as you're growing into your adult years. Probably the best thing about turning 18 is the opportunity to vote. So if you are one of those players, you get to vote as an 18-year-old, please take advantage of that and go do that, no matter who you're voting for. We're very lucky and privileged in this country to have that opportunity, so take advantage of that. But we chose Election Day to move up these selections because of the fact that a lot of schools are out. Hopefully all schools are out across the country, so guys will be home. They'll be able to see these emails. They'll be able to share the news, get excited, and go through the acceptance process with their parent, guardians, coaches, whoever is involved, if they are able and willing to come to the game. So that's the reason for choosing that day. If you're homeschool kids, hopefully your parents are going to at least take it easy on you a little bit tomorrow, maybe give you the day off like other students are. But regardless, we wanted as many people to be able to see these during the day as we could, not be distracted by school or wait till they get home later today. So so excited about that. Later tomorrow, I should say. Excited about those going out and seeing everyone share the big news if they got selected. So the first topic we're going to talk about with these selections is, we've gotten this question before, is does my kid playing in a past event affect or help their chances of getting selected again? So obviously the answer is yes. Getting to play in front of us is always a big deal. A lot of seniors obviously last year that have moved on to the next level, whether it be at college football or college or in the workforce, military, whatever it may be. They're not going to be coming back, but we had a lot of underclassmen last year, juniors and below, that will have a good opportunity to get selected again. Now, I do want to say that not just because you were here last year is not an automatic bid. It's not a definite foot in the door, if you will, but it definitely helps your chances. Now, I will say The higher chances of being selected again were those who won awards last year. We had several underclassmen that won awards for their performance in the game and went on to prove why they should be selected again this season on the field. So regardless of what you did last year, if you were here or not, you do have to go perform on the field in 2024, barring injuries, things like that, we understand. But the performance on the field in 2024 is a huge factor, obviously, for this being a 2024 All-Star game. Now, I'll give you a perfect example of someone who is in very good shape, and that is Logan Bryars of the Freedom Cowboys. Logan was the co-MVP in last year's junior 8-man game. We saw him in August up here at the Black Bear Brawl, where he performed well at linebacker and running back, continued to perform well throughout the season, stayed healthy, won awards within his conference, and is slated, I believe, to play in the conference championship, if I'm not mistaken, and they're also going down to Panama City to compete for a national championship. So Logan is in great shape because of those reasons. Not only was he an All-American last year, he won the highest award, and he's continued to play very well this season as well. So the answer is yes, that does help you. Just being here last year does help. Being here in August as well for Black Bear Brawl helps your case a lot too, because I was personally able to see you with my own eyes. Our assistant Colby was on the other field. If you were on the lower field, he got to see you as well. In addition to multiple members of our selection committee were here and got to see players in person as well. So that's always going to help you out. But at the end of the day, you got to have strong film. You have to have strong stats if that fits your position. And but I also will say it's not always on stats. We understand other factors. There's a lot of strong teams out there where their starters may not play the whole game, and it's hard to put up stats in that case. But so we do take stats with a grain of salt. Film is always most important, especially when you're talking about positions that don't have stats, typically like offensive line, defensive line, and DB. So yeah, that's the answer there. Quick and simple recap of that. Past winners, especially of the All-American Bowl last year, have a great chance of being selected again, as well as players that have played up here in Gatlinburg, whether it be for the All-American Bowl and Black Bear Brawl. Now I want to talk a little bit about positions. So we've been very open and candid with the fact that we use a pretty strict position requirement, or cap, if you will, where we're trying to go for no more than 2 quarterbacks per team, 3 running backs, et cetera, just to make sure that everybody gets an ample playing time opportunity. There are some positions that we feel like we couldn't have enough of, offensive line being one, defensive back being one, corners, DBs, especially are positions where we feel like we could get as many as we could at those positions and still give them ample playing time. So offensive line, especially defensive line, we need 5 out there at all times, a true center with 2 true guards, 2 true tackles, and of course it'd be great to have those who can play multiple positions, but we do want to show off your best position. But it's a long game. It's 15-minute quarters, 4 15-minute quarters. If we only have one offensive line group, they could get worn out pretty quickly. So if we can get 10 offensive linemen that are solid offensive linemen, started at the high school level, competed at every level, were strong players for their team and a big reason for their success. We need those, as many as we can get. So that's some that we check the film on that. If the measurables are there, if the film is there, if they've got a dog attitude and they go out there and play hard, they're going to get a good chance to come here as an offensive lineman. Now it's going to be a little more special at positions like quarterback. We're very selective with that, and there's going to be some good quarterbacks that probably do not get an email tomorrow, just for the fact of we're trying to get all of our quarterback nominees in, review and grade, and make sure we're selecting the very, 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 very best ones first. And then, if they can't come, then we'll move down the list to the next level. But we have a lot of quarterbacks. We have a lot of great position players at running back and wide receiver as well, that, we want to make sure that we're not overloading those positions and selecting the very best. So talking about positions as well, want to mention the defensive back position. I know it's common for games like this for players that play both wide receiver and DB to put wide receiver as their primary position. because they want to be the one that goes out there and catches a touchdown, gets that on film. But I want to encourage players that have a strength at DB and that's where you see yourself playing at the next level, to put that as your primary position. Not only does it help your chances to get selected, but DB is such an important position in football, in the current state of football. You see DBs getting drafted in the first round more often than wide receivers. These days you see wide receivers converting to defensive back at a higher level in all levels of football. So if that is your strength, I'd encourage you to put down that you are a corner or a safety and get that opportunity to shine. I've several examples of guys who did that last year. Jazier Dukes from Hickory Grove, Peyton May from Cincinnati Landmark Eagles. Those are guys that were true DBs that they wanted to come out and play DB. Jazier had a great interception on his film and locked down that side of the field all game. So college coaches that are watching the game are gonna see that, or watching your film from the game. They're gonna notice those DBs that are locking down. So you may not end up on the highlight reel, and if you end up on the bad side of a highlight reel, it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing in the world, because DBs are so needed. We need two corners, two safeties, and a lot of times a good slot corner as well. So talking about positions, I always want to make that note that DBs, players who think they can be a DB at the next level, really need to put that on there, because there's going to be coaches watching that, and you need to show it in practice as well. I will make a note for all the players that come to the All-American Bowl this year, is those Friday practices especially, you don't know who's watching you at those practices. So make sure you bring it every practice. And also the coaches are going to select their four captains and the first starting group on both sides of the ball from those practices. So they are very vital, and I want every player to take those very seriously, because there will be eyes on you while you're at practice, and it'll make a big impression on your coaching staff while you're here. Some upcoming important dates this month after tomorrow with the first round of selections is November 11th, a week from today, is when we are going to send out the cheer nomination selections, I should say. So we've gotten a lot of cheerleader nominations. They have a little more requirement with an audition film that's anywhere from 1.5 to 2 minutes long. So it's taken a little longer for our committee to properly grade and review those. So we want to stick with the original November 11th date. But there will be a lot of very deserving cheerleaders that will get their notice of selection next week. So excited about that. Really excited with cheer in general and what it's grown to already. Really appreciative for those who have helped with growing it to the point where it is. And I think we've got some very, very deserving girls out there that are going to take this game to the next level with their level of talent, their spirit, and everything that cheerleaders bring to this game of football that is so necessary. So another big date coming up is November 18th will be the second round of football selection. So we're moving along pretty quickly from November 5th to November 18th. We expect to have some information on who is accepting their nominations, accepting their selections, and who is declining for whatever reason. Basketball, injury, other things may keep them from being able to come to the game. We need to know that as soon as possible so that we can move down the list. And then November 22nd is our official last day of nominations. So that Friday the 22nd, week before Thanksgiving, should have a good idea. Teams are wrapping up their seasons now, continuing through the playoffs. You might have some state championships, different things going on around that time. So it's a good time, we feel like, to close them. So you still have over 2.5 weeks now to get your nominations in. We'll continue to review and grade those as we go forward. I did want to touch on the acceptance a little bit. The players that will be getting the emails tomorrow, notice of their selection into the game, they'll have 2 weeks to accept, whether it's parent, guardian themselves, or coach, whoever is responsible for getting them here, paying their fee, and et cetera, et cetera. We just need a verbal acceptance from that. So there will be a form that you'll fill out letting us know that you accept it. If you decline, it's just a simple reply to the email that you get from our All-American Bowl Gmail address, just letting us know that you've unfortunately got a decline, what the reasons are, and going from there. So we need to know that within 2 weeks. By the 18th, if we haven't heard anything, we will most likely, if we've not been able to communicate with anyone, we'll get a follow-up from the player, coach, or parent. We will probably assume that is a decline and move on down the list. So that all happens pretty quickly. It's 2 weeks, busy 2 weeks for me, but it's an exciting 2 weeks. We love to see all the acceptances come in, all the players sharing the exciting news. Every player that gets accepted or selected, I should say, will receive a graphic to share on social media, share the good news with your family, friends, and then you will have that opportunity to accept within 2 weeks of getting that. I want to make a note of this. Know that we're coming up on Christmas season, holiday season here, and everyone's funds are a little tight. We never require, in that initial acceptance, we never require any sort of money to be paid at that time. You've probably seen the flyers. If not, we'll post them again. It's $295 for a player package, $275 for a cheer package. Includes everything on that flyer that you see there. For the players, they get to participate in NSR certified combine on that Thursday, and then everything else that comes with your player package is included in that as well. So you will have a due date to pay those fees to be able to come to the game, play in the game. We'll announce that date later, but it's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 weeks before the event. But at least for the initial acceptance, we don't want to ask anybody to have to put down money at that point. But understanding that, and understanding that may take some time to save up for that, as well as the whole trip in general. But we hope that people will see what a special opportunity this is to play in this game, to experience Gatlinburg, to get one more high school game for your seniors, meet people from all over the country. We've seen friendships formed from this event over the years that have carried on through social media, whether it be a football player or cheerleader. We love seeing that. It's part of the reason we do this, and it just it warms my heart seeing that. So acceptance is 2 weeks from the date that you received the notice of selection, and that's a good thing to note as well. We're going to try to get us everything we can out tomorrow, but this is something that could draw out to Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. Some people will still be getting their first round selection emails, so it'll be 2 weeks from the date that you receive it, and we'll note that. We'll follow up with you if we haven't heard from you within a week or so. We give everybody an ample opportunity to accept that. So I would encourage every player that's watching this to put our All-American Bowl email addresses, and I'll have that up on the screen here soon, on your contact list or your non-junk list, to make sure it doesn't go to your spam folder. Our All-American Bowl selections will be coming from Gatlinburg, allamericanbowl@gmail.com, and our Rising Stars selections will be coming from Gatlinburg Rising Stars @gmail.com. Again, that'll be on the screen, but I encourage everybody to put that on your non-spam list. Make sure that's not going to your spam folder. So with that, I think we've covered everything that could be asked about coming up tomorrow and through this week with the first round of selections going out. If you have additional questions, please reach out to us. Comment down below in the video is always good. On social media, very active on Instagram and Twitter. @Gatlinburg Bowl is the handle for both Twitter and Instagram. So reach out to us there if you have any further questions. Want to make sure to note again that for the players that are excited about the potential of being selected and don't get the email this week, please don't worry. This is, again, just the very tip of the iceberg, just the very top of this whole process that will continue through the end of the month. So don't feel bad. Don't feel like you did anything wrong. We just over the years, this is year 5. We've realized that this is the best process, kind of a slow, steady drip, just to make sure we're keeping our rosters where they need to be, and that players are going to get the maximum opportunity to showcase their skills on the field. So we're very excited. We have 280 jerseys. Hope to have a player in every single one of them this year between the 4 games. Rising Stars, which is going to be your freshmen, sophomore starters, contributors on your team. It's a great opportunity for those guys. We have college coaches, coaching staffs committed to coach both of those sidelines. Todd Miller, who's currently with Midway University, is going to be head coaching the Team Navy again. Coach Cottrell, with a school down in Georgia. So with that, I think we've covered everything that could be asked about coming up tomorrow and through this week with the first round of selections going out. If you have additional questions, please reach out to us. Comment down below in the video is always good. On social media, very active on Instagram and Twitter. At Gatlinburg Bowl is the handle for both Twitter and Instagram. So reach out to us there if you have any further questions. Want to make sure to note again that for the players that are excited about the potential of being selected and don't get the email this week, please don't worry. This is, again, just the very tip of the iceberg, just the very top of this whole process that will continue through the end of the month. So, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you did anything wrong. We just over the years, this is year 5. We've realized that this is the best process, kind of a slow, steady drip, just to make sure we're keeping our rosters where they need to be, and that players are going to get the maximum opportunity to showcase their skills on the field. So we're very excited. We have 280 jerseys. Hope to have a player in every single one of them this year between the 4 games. Rising Stars, which is going to be your freshmen, sophomore starters, contributors on your team. It's a great opportunity for those guys. We have college coaches, coaching staffs committed to coach both of those sidelines. Todd Miller, who's currently with Midway University, is going to be head coaching the Team Navy again. Coach Cottrell, with a school down in Georgia, is going to be coaching the Gold team this year. So 2 college staffs, great opportunity for these younger guys. We try to fill that team with freshmen and sophomores and exceptional 8th graders if we get them. And then we might need to fill in some juniors here and there. We've had to do over the past just to fill out the roster, just to provide some depth. But we do make sure these juniors were guys who were 16 at the time of the season starting, August 1st typically cut off. So if they were 16 at that time, we're trying to keep this as a 16 and under game. And so we'll fill in some juniors where needed. Hopefully this is just strictly a sophomore and below game this year. That's what we're shooting for. We've got a lot of really talented kids out there that are on our radar, and we're hoping to get more over the next few weeks. Then we'll also have a juniors game. Last year we had a juniors 8-man game. This year we're planning on just keeping it as a juniors game with the same format of the Rising Stars, which is 8-man and 11-man football players coming together and playing in an 11-man format team. So we feel this is a really exciting opportunity for our 2026 guys to get some 11-man film on their Huddle accounts, on their profiles going into their senior year, especially for your 8-man football players that didn't have any 11-man games on your schedule this year. This is a good chance for you to showcase your skills. We saw that last year with C.J. Johnson of Springwood School in Alabama. He ended up winning the offensive MVP at running back for Team Navy last year. 8-man football player, went off in that game over 100 yards, a couple touchdowns, and now he's went on to do that again on an 8-man football field this year with over 2,000 yards. I think he might even eclipse 3,000 before it's all said and done. But he's going to have a chance if he gets selected to come out and perform in an 11-man format again, and that's going to hopefully be a really big tool for him in recruiting. That's something we're always looking at. So juniors game will be very similar to Rising Stars game, except it will be juniors only. 8-man, good mix, hopefully half and half of 8-man, 11-man football players. We have coaches on the sidelines there that are familiar with both games and very capable of coaching an 11-man team. So excited about that. Then we will also have the staples of this event from year 1, 5 years ago, the 8-man seniors game. Going to showcase the best 8-man seniors in the country on one field. Always an exciting game, always a hard-hitting, high-scoring, fun game. And then, of course, the 11-man seniors upperclassmen game as well. A lot of college talent in that game, a lot of really good players. We saw that last year on both sides of the ball. Guys that went on to play and are playing at the next level this year. Going to be showcasing a lot of really good football players in that game, and that's one we're very excited about. So again, cheerleaders as well. There should be a cheer staff on each sideline that will perform a halftime routine that they work on over 2 days at halftime of each game, and just really excited about everything. So hope this has been informative for you. Hopefully you've got some answers to your questions if you had any. Again, if you had any other questions, any additional questions or concerns that you want to ask us, drop them in the comments below, or send us a DM on Instagram or Twitter. Again, Gatlinburg Bowl is our Twitter handle. Again, this is Andrew Capps, director of the All-American Bowl Series, signing out. Hope you have a good week. Thank you. Bye.